Brian, it's Dr. G. Come here. Dr. G, what does you say? SRNE? Going up or down?
What's he say?
Hey. Welcome back to another edition of Sounds Right Media. My name's Anthony.
And I'm Brian.
And we have a very great video for you today on SRNE. Dr. G has shown us the light. Before we get into it, be sure to share the video, like the video, comment down below, and above all else, subscribe to the channel. A lot of people keep asking, you guys make videos on SRNE all the time. Well, yeah, they have news, and guess what? We like them. This is Brian. He's a professional stock trader, 37 years. Many of you probably already know the man. He's got a prestigious background in the market, and we're going to dive deep into this man's brain and get his opinion on the future of Sorrento Therapeutics today. Brian, what do you think?
It's funny, Anth, because a lot of people, like you said, want to give us flack here about Sorrento Therapeutics, but the bulls are the ones who are actually in control of the stock here. It's not the bears, because guess what? The bears want to see and need this stock below $5 a share. That way they're going to start to have funds bailing on the company and the stock, and it's not going to happen because there's too much going on with this company, and this stock is headed to the upside.
Now, Brian, as a lot of people probably already know, we had some big information from Sorrento.
For those that think the FDA doesn't ever do anything good for Sorrento, well, guess what? The FDA gave clearance, approval, whatever adjective you want to use to move forward with STI 3031. Let's take a look. So as we can see, the news story we've got up on our screen right now is released yesterday at 11:39 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. And to us, this shows where this company is headed.
Right. I'm on StockTwits like probably more than I should be. And all the things I see, I constantly scrolling and looking at what people are saying. And all I see people say is stuff about how it's all a fake, it's all a fraud, it's all phony. The thing that bothers me is like the FDA is approving these things, is clearing these things. So obviously,
right,
there's real science behind this stuff. For you to say, oh, he can't bring anything. Well, it's also in the beginning stages of these things, and it takes time with everything.
So as you can see by this story here, released by Sorrento, STI 3031 was discovered from their fully human GMAD library. And this is something that I think has great value for the company in and of itself.
Right.
Bullet point number 2, dose. Currently, Sorrento has six GMAB antibodies that are in phase 1B through phase 3 clinical trials in immuno-oncology and COVID-19 indications. To me, they're moving in the right direction with all of this.
Hey,
yeah.
How much did Dr. G pay you for this one?
Nothing. He paid you? Back to the serious nature of this video. Bullet point number 3. These clinical and preclinical GMAB antibodies are expected to be the foundation, the building blocks for developing potent antibody drug conjugates and antibody drug nanoparticle albumin-bound product candidates. And bullet point number 4. GMAB antibodies have also been used for the generation and production of both CAR T and DAR-T cells for treating hematological cancer and solid tumors. So for those that say this company can't get anything cleared, approved, or permission to move forward, they're on the wrong track, and the bears, they're going to be going for hiding sooner rather than later.
Jim Cramer.
Yes, our buddy.
Our best friend Jimmy. Jimmy boy came out last Friday talking about SRNE in his little lightning round thing on a show, and he said that SRNE is going to gain some points, and then it's a sell. Let's see what he has to say.
No, don't. I mean, here's what happens with, sir, this is what happens with a stock like this. There'll be a news release, and it'll spike 3-4 points. Because it's a 20% short position, and that'll give you a chance to get out. They should have done something with COVID. I was waiting for, something big and commercial, and it didn't happen.
So as you can see here on the video, Cramer's talking about maybe a 3 or 4 point pop in the stock when we get some type of news, and he then says it's a good opportunity to get out. He's gone back and forth on this stock here, and I don't know what he's talking about too with this whole, well, they should have had something to market commercially by now with this whole COVID thing. It doesn't really matter because as we've talked, COVID-19 is not going anywhere. and there's going to be usefulness for this product and all their COVID products down the road. Any thoughts on that?
As for COVID-19 products, other than the vaccine, I guess somebody would have to maybe comment down below and tell me what other companies have gotten things approved this quickly. This stuff takes a lot of time. COVID's been out what? I mean, COVID's been around what? A year?
Year and a half?
Maybe. So we're talking about studies, long-term studies that have to be done on things before anything can come to market. For Jim Cramer to say this is just a bearish outlook on the company.
Not only is he bearish on this company, but guess what? When something positive comes out, he's going to be back on the bandwagon,
right,
bringing Dr. G back on the program.
Exactly.
And let's not forget, up to this point here, the only companies that have been funded by the government are big pharma for the vaccines, which, in my opinion, is a travesty.
And boom, there's your chart for SRNE, Sorrento Therapeutics. Brian, what do you got?
Ant, you want to tell our listeners a little bit about the chart, or you want me to?
Yeah, you know what? I'm seeing some resistance and some support levels here. I see some yellow and blue lines.
Yeah.
You know, that looks pretty good to me.
Well, maybe I'll take a look at it here.
Oh, yeah, you do
just
that
for
part.
a brief moment. Getting back to what we've talked in the past here, the stock has held the trend line here that we discussed going back 1 year, bounced below it for a couple of days here, but overall it held it on a closing price basis. Now what we want to look for, as Ant did mention, we do have resistance now above head, 910 to 940.
You know what I'm talking about?
All these moving average lines here, whether it's the 200-day moving average, the 50-day moving average, 100-day moving average, they're all kind of converging in this 910 to 940 area.
Is that normal?
Well, not typical.
Does that happen often?
It doesn't happen a lot, but it does in this case here just because of the way the stock's traded over the past, many months. But now what I actually want to see is the stock is what are we down here right now? We're down 18 cents here at 863. We had a nice run on Monday and Tuesday. We're giving a little back here today, and not a big deal. I wouldn't mind seeing maybe a little consolidation in here, chop it around, maybe give us a lower low on a daily basis from today's low, and then I want to look for a push up and through resistance. Of course, a lot of it is news pending. If you get a piece of news that comes out that's favorable, we're going to see this stock catapult, and who knows? Honestly, I would have thought by now we'd have had something come out with regards to the EUA and the COVID stick, the testing for COVID-19. And even really, we could be talking about the non-opioid pain relief. These are still pending. We got the news out here on Monday with regards to the STI 3031, and we have a lot of great things to be looking for in this company.
Question is, what's next? Will we see a progressive amount of news on the company? What's going to happen here?
Yeah, I agree. Well, and honestly, with this latest news announcement, I think this shows the credibility of Sorrento Therapeutics. I also think it shows that they can gain clearance, approval of their products to move forward, whether it be whatever phase it's in. I think this company's headed in the right direction. We've got a lot of great things to look forward to.
Personally, what I would like to see is some news that tells us we are headed towards that final stage of production, or we are going to be there very soon.
I agree 100% with that. One thing I want to add is, a lot of people will talk about Dr. G and how he is promotional and things of that nature. I agree he shouldn't have been promotional as he was, and I think from this point forward, we're probably going to see a little bit more subdued Dr. G. He's going to keep his mouth shut. Let's just let Sorrento's products do the talking as we move forward. I also think if you're a long-term investor at this stage here with this news that's come out and all the things to look forward to, you have to sit tight.
Right. Final thoughts. Brian, prediction, what do you think?
Well, I think the stock is moving higher in the fullness of time. I'd like to see how it acts in and around these moving average lines, but I do think that the overall market, once we get through Apple earnings tonight, might be vulnerable to some pullback activity. So I want to see how this stock acts in the coming couple of days, but obviously news pending, this stock will probably look to chop around, and if we get some positive news, this stock will be soaring. Personally, I think this stock is going to come out with some great news here at some point in the not too distant future, and I'm looking for this stock to become a teenager in the coming weeks, if not slightly thereafter.
So there you have it. That's our video. I hope you got some wonderful information from us today. Dr. G thanks you.
Yes.
I thank you. Brian thanks you. Before you go, smash that like button, subscribe to the channel, comment down below if you have any questions, And as always, share the video. We thank you for joining us.